Yeah, you can just see the front four begin to distance themselves now slightly from Max Bramdel, who's 12 seconds off the lead. And at the head of the chase, there they are. Flickiger off the bike in the red. Pidcock over. Oh. Carries some speed into the bottom. That chute.
So difficult, very steep, and that big route is right at 45 degrees, and the only way you can do it is as you're coming in, big hop over. Really, really difficult section to clean, but all those front four absolutely nailing it.
You can see as well some of those routes out there starting to turn white, which, if you've ever ridden mountain bikes, you know is the last thing on earth you want to see is a big shiny white route.
Yeah, there's no slippery.
Those are the ones that smell like hospital food. But out the front, Tom Pidcock.
Yeah, he's pushing hard now. It's kind of an attack.
Senses.
6 seconds.
Senses that maybe now is the time. Down through the timber garden.
Yeah, that's still very slippery, that timber garden.
You can see the whole bike just moving around.
Yeah.
Yeah, riders will have to be careful over there.
Oh, just go through there.
She reached out actually as well.
Yeah, pretty wild.
And who do we miss? Lucas Schwarzbauer?
Schwarzbauer.
Oh, Maximilian Brandel. He's overtaken by Lucas Schwarzbauer.
And Schwarzbauer coming back towards the front of this one.
3 Germans in the front, 6.
Yeah, Marcel Guarini, here he is in the green jersey.
So 3 Germans, 3 Swiss in that top 10.
Yeah, the French rider.
167, 170 beats per minute now for Sarrou, down 21st, so not going the French champs' way today.
And we have Lars Forster behind Jordan Sarrou, another Swiss rider.
Yes, Guarini hanging the leg off.
Yeah, we know.
Flicks the glasses.
Guarini always strong when it comes down to the last bit of the race.
I'll tell you one thing we've learned there is Marcel Guarini doesn't buy his own sunglasses. Sarrou behind him though, with Forster in close contention. That gives you an idea of how tough conditions are today whenever you've got the 3 of those riders.
Sarrou looking really comfortable in that turn in the muddy conditions. More comfortable than Guarini in front of him. And I think Sarrou, he had a poor short track by his standards, but one of those riders similar to Alessandro Keller that just keeps fighting, whether it's having a good day or a bad day, you're always going to get a great performance from him. And so consistent.
Correction from me, Sarrou's in 8th currently, Lars Forster in 9th, Guarini 7th.
Yeah, Luca Braido and also Geoffrey Culel, Spanish rider.
Oh.
He's in 11th place. Strong ride for him today.
Bike getting stood up in between the roots there. Flickiger now taking the fight to Nino Schurter. Knows that if anybody's going to catch Tom Pidcock, they need to start doing it quickly.
Yeah, the battle in between Nino Schurter and Matthias Flickiger.
Talking to the Swiss, one rider not having a great first lap. Filippo Colombo now just drifted back to 20th position.
Here he goes, Flickiger past Schurter. No love lost between those two. And Matthias Flickiger is answering his online critics here today.
Yeah, he didn't do the short track yesterday to save some energy. It looks like it works for him today. He's so far.
Yeah, like I said, missing the short track gives him that bit of a handicap on the start, but on this circuit with the wider open start loop, it's maybe not as much of a disadvantage as on some other circuits.
We joked about this. We passed a very cheery Ralph Nath on the way into work this morning, and the two of us said, well, Matthias and Alessandro must be in good form.
Yeah, he was definitely chirpy.
Yeah.
But if you go for the overall, for the World Cup title, then you need to ride and perform well in the short tracks too. Otherwise, you're not going to make it.
There's too many points up for grabs to not take them seriously. 7 seconds now. Tom Pidcock leads the way here in Crown Montana. Pidcock through the B-line and the rocks just gives you a slightly better entry to that big turn.
Wondering which line Matthias Flickiger is taking and how fast he can come back to Tom Pidcock. These sections will suit Matthias Flickiger.
Pidcock changing tactics that lap. Previous lap hit the A-line. This year swapping to the B, just playing a bit safer.
Flickiger's 5 seconds behind him by our screens.
There's Nino Schurter on 3rd place.
The chase is on here.
And here we see Tom Pidcock Concentration on his face.
The UCI World Champions rainbow stripes on the Ineos Grenadiers kit. He'll be headed to the Tour de France imminently off the back of this one.
Almost back together. A small gap in between Tom Pidcock and Matthias Flückiger, numbers 1 and 2 in the race.
As I say, we have been treated to this battle before, Mont-Sedan last year. And if Matthias Flückiger can get back in touch with Tom Pidcock, you can bet there will be no quarter given between these two.
They've had some classic scraps in the past.
Josh has been on. There's been a crash for Guarini on the B line in the rock garden. So Guarini's day going from bad to worse amidst the rocks of Crans-Montana. Pidcock stays out. Flückiger ups for a bottle.
Yeah, that lane where Pidcock is, the transit, it's a bit faster. Nino comes in to clean his drivetrain a little bit with some water.
It's quite a good exit off it here as well. It doesn't cost you too much on the exit like we have on other tracks. And Shell there taking a bottle on. So Shell still in fourth.
I think part of it is with how we've seen Nino going through, taking a bottle for himself and then a bottle to spray on his cogs on the rear.
Third place currently for Nino Schurter as the leaders head into the Red Bull Roots and Rolls section.
It's still very slippery over there.
Yeah, plenty of moisture left on that descent.
That is a one gear for Matthias Flückiger at the bottom, a little bit small. He managed that and changed that quickly.
And obviously now we've got this long asphalt section going through the start and finish, and then the climb, and it's whether Pidcock, well, keeps the pressure on. He's not going to give any. Let Matthias come back on.
Pidcock had his best time trial in the Tour de Suisse.
Yeah.
Geoffrey Kellel, something wrong with him. It looks like a flat rear tire. Number 16 here in the pit.
Disaster for the PH team. Tom Pidcock just took a look over his shoulder and saw Matthias Flückiger enjoying a drink from his bottle. I wonder that will be the green light. Here comes Nino Schurter into the shot now.
All these few riders now have to go into time trial mode.
Yeah, Pidcock put the hammer down. Not waiting at all here on the asphalt.
This first climb was super tough. The short track, it was taking the riders about a minute and a half to climb up this asphalt climb. Then we have a small recovery before we go into the woods, but it keeps going and going. It's about 4 minutes all in all where you're actually putting big power through the pedals. It's a really tough climb.
There's Schwarzbar and Brandl. The battle for the last spot on the podium is raging between Lucas Schwarzbar and his compatriot Max Brandl. Lars Forster wants to get across to them.
Forster, a winner from last year as well in the World Cup, but always very good on the hilly courses and in the mud too.
Then we have Jordan Sarou, also Guarini, Luca Braido behind him.
And Braido as well. Third last week in Val di Sole, a rider coming into really, really good form. I think we'll see him coming through this pack as the race goes on.
Another young Swiss rider, Joel Roth, 10th place.
Yeah, going well, Joel Roth.
Of the Bix Performance race team.
Of course.
Matthias all on 11th place.
Team manager there, Matthias Flückiger's brother, Lucas.
Pidcock doing well to ride that technical section.
Yeah, wondering what Matthias can do.
He's off the bike already.
Able to come back to Thomas Pidcock. Pidcock was pushing hard on the asphalt constantly.
Yeah, it's gone from 5 seconds to 13 seconds now.
Nino struggling over there as well to stay on his bike. This cost him a lot of seconds. What he's doing now.
Pidcock did really well to power his way through that section.
And that's kind of what we've seen here, isn't it? It's death by 1,000 cuts a wee bit. There's little mistakes here and there, adding up over the course of a lap.
Looks like Julian Schell comes back a little bit to Nino Schurter.
30 seconds covering the top 4 now. Meanwhile, 45, 46 seconds back. Schwarzbar and Brandl.
There's going to be this big scrap between the three Germans, and Schlepp just coming into good form. And like I say, he was 16th in the third round in Nevemesto, and it was his first short track that he was able to race in, and he used that to the best he could and moved his gridding forward. And it's something that we saw years ago that Schwarzbauer did. He was a mid-pack, kind of 20s, 30s racer. Once he got his opportunity in the short track to move forward, and that gridding is so important.
Yeah, these days in mountain biking, it goes so fast from the start on. When it comes into the off-camber, into the off-road sections, you have to be in a good position. And that's why the start is so important.
And it's always, the mountain bike, there's no let-up. It's so intense, and every bit of energy you overexpend early on, it's always going to catch up with you in the latter laps.
Tom Pidcock off the bike momentarily at the bottom of that climb. Back on again now, though.
19 seconds now.
19 seconds now.
But it's the tempo that Pidcock just dancing up these climbs.
Yeah, he found his rhythm. Also on the more technical and more difficult parts of this course.
There is Flukiger, second place currently for the Tumas. Max on rider.
We're going into this race, real pressure race, having a poor World Cup, getting Olympic selection. He had a great end of season last year, so it was a well-deserved Olympic selection. But you definitely would feel that pressure, and I think this race or Leger were kind of his last two opportunities to get a good World Cup under his belt.
Yeah, and also, I mean, there was a lot of pressure around the qualification for the Swiss team. I mean, that Filippo Colombo had some great results. Marcel Guerini made it to the podium a couple of times.
Flukiger nearly losing the bike there.
And that's what Matthias Flukiger felt as well. So, but he's proven now his form.
21 seconds now the gap.
Well, Nino, same.
So Pidcock really, really up with the tempo at the front.
Julian Shelp.
Shelp still hanging in there, 40 seconds back.
He's not that far off Nino.
Yeah, doing a fantastic ride. I'd say this year's best result going into this race, 16th in the World Cup this season. Last year had 20s, 30s overall. And
over that big route over there.
So tough to get that right. Big consequences if you get it wrong as well.
Whoa, whoa, whoa!
That's not something you see on every day.
No, especially not from Nino.
Massive mistake.
Now on third, but we don't see that many questions of Nino.
Massive mistake from Schurter over the barriers. Back on the bike. It looked like a soft enough landing, but it's cost him time. And you're right, you really don't get to say that very often. Nino Schurter in trouble here in Crom, Montana.
I can count them on one hand the amount of time I've seen that boy on the deck.
Yeah, he came into the big rut.
Let's see it again. Just didn't get hooked up in that rut early enough and then deposited unceremoniously over the barriers.
And you just see how deep that rut, and once you're in it, you've got to keep your weight on the inside. The moment that weight goes to the outside, it's all going to go wrong. We saw on the B line, on the waterfall, Jen Jackson, the same sort of thing, just getting a bit squirrely coming in, and when you go into the outside then and into the tape.
Yeah, but sometimes it's hard to find his rhythm back as well, also his confidence, you see as well. He must also here a few seconds again.
Unclipped.
Yeah, he's not together with this bike at the moment.
Hasn't looked down, and I just wonder if there's something going on.
I think he's had to run a little bit. There may be too much mud in the pedals and the shoes, and we saw Puck Petersen in the women's race. He had to run a section and then almost crashed afterwards because her feet weren't in the pedals correctly. So.
Yeah, that looked like it really actually, in the grand scheme of things, upset Puck's rhythm earlier on, that little section. Doesn't take much on a day like today when the ruts are this deep.
Yeah, Nino, fourth place now.
And he's
a small crash.
And he's not reeled Shelb in straight away either.
It's just unsettling. It was it's not just a little slide off. That was a proper crash.
He went over the
ones that you get up, but it's going to take you a little while to regroup.
Yeah.
A bit stiff.
It wasn't on the scale of that one in Mariporo though. That was an absolute massive one.
Yeah, the net saved his crash a little bit, even when he went over his bars.
Jens Sherman's the giant, also missing today with a knee injury, going for scans on it. The gap now 34 seconds from Pidcock back to Flukiger.
It's unbelievable season that Pidcock's got in front of him. Winner in Novo Mesto, his fourth win in a row on that circuit, was unbelievable that day. And then from there went straight to the big warm-up race of the Tour of Swiss, 6th overall, back to here.
Took victory at the Amstel Gold start of the season. And he always sort of talks about mountain biking being kind of a busman's holiday for him, and this is what he enjoys doing, to sort of not be on the road bike, isn't it? And
I mean, Saturday starts Tour de France for him.
Yep.
Cannot wait for that. Tour de France getting underway this Saturday on Eurosport Cycling.
And Swiss riders, Lars Forster, 6th place now, coming through strong. Another Thomas Maxson rider.
Max Brandl looking like he's starting to suffer a wee bit.
2nd place for Matthias Flückiger. A little bit of a bigger gap now to the 3rd place.
As we jump on board the drone behind Tom Pidcock.
It's such a tough climb now. It's a little bonus one. Not one of the big climbs, but just a little leg sapper. And then we drop straight into the rock garden. What makes this so difficult, as you can see, Pidcock now still climbing now. Little drop of the post.
Taking the A-line.
That's what the cheer was for from the crowd.
A minute to Nino Schurter. Pidcock has.
Julian Schell took that line on the last lap, apparently, that A-line. We'll see if he does it again this one.
Interesting to see as well. Gap to Matthias, 35 seconds. It's interesting to see how much time on these big descent sections Matthias can close on Pidcock.
It was only 5 seconds at the finish line. Yeah. 6 seconds, and now 35 already.
Huge, huge lap from Tom Pidcock, this one. Matthias Flückiger in the B-line.
See that deep rut on the way out. That's the one. That congratulatory wheels we saw, similar to Nino getting caught on that descent. That's another one that can just catch you out if he waits in the wrong place.
You can hear the support of the fans also for Matthias here.
See, now we got the rock garden section going straight into the waterfall. See which line Matthias Flückiger takes.
Taking the B-line again, but that's a very steep one on top too.
So steep, and the entry coming in, and you've got to catch that big berm, that big rut. If you get that right, then you carry so much speed on the way out.
6 UCI cross-country Olympic wins for Matthias Flückiger.
Normally Matthias is so consistent and a winner from last year as well, and it was only this at his start of the season, it just a bit of illness early on, which he took him to Brazil, and then it just upset him a little bit. And we expected him to come back into some good form at some point, but he was starting to run out of time a little bit. But at the moment, this is the best legs he's had so far this year.
Yeah, and also definitely a course what suits him. Yeah. Steep climbing. Also, when it should have been a dry course, definitely also something good for him.
And it's like some riders just love that mud. It's just that extra technicality. Yeah, Flückiger does. His teammate Forster does as well.
Oh, Pidcock. Evasive manoeuvres around them routes.
And there's also the motivation or the confidence what these conditions brings to you before the start of the race. That's definitely what Matthias Flückiger has as well. But and he got these conditions in the last few days. Nino Schurter here, also unclipped in that rock garden. Plays not a good lap for him at all, and another crash.
Big crash for Schurter.
Leslie, look at him.
Woofed.
Lucky not to go down on those big rocks.
Mark, you know my rule. If you don't let go of the bike, it's not a crash. The hand stayed on the grip the whole time there.
Let's see how he's doing in the next shot. At least, yeah, the slow motion of this shot was amazing.
Looked like a big impact.
Hopefully he didn't hurt himself.
For Nino Schurter, definitely a crash.
There was not some. There's no place to crash.
Nowhere soft up there. Reporting in, Carlson saying Julian Schell took the A-line on that last lap, but bad news. Maximilian Brandl's been down. Thinks he may have broken his jaw.
Yeah, Brandl lacked the timing.
Yeah, he's plummeting down the timing sheet, so we hope everything is all right with Max Brandl. The medics are with him now. So
Where and when did it happen?
I just got a message from Carlson saying he's had a crash.
Yeah, we saw him there. And there was Nino, still on his bike. Good to see him riding.
He did very, very well not to twist a knee or something or an ankle there in those rocks. Sure.
Yeah, the first crash in the woods generally going to be soft, but that rock garden, yes, you're lucky to get really lucky to get away with that one.
Sure.
Actually, he didn't lose that much time to Julian Shelp, who's still third.
No, he must have managed to keep the bike moving and jump back on almost straight away. Schwarzbauer stretching the back out as we're used to seeing.
Lars Foster with him. A little bit of a draft here on this part of the course.
We'll see.
I think they regroup together with Nino.
And then he gets a chance to just kind of regroup, follow a wheel for a bit, get his energy back.
There's Jordan Sarrou.
Yeah, it would be good to know about Maximilian Brandl, why he dropped, what happened.
Colodani coming back through really strong. Colodani ahead of Frido and Sarrou now. So top 10, Guerini crosses the line, covered by 2 minutes.
Yeah, Colombo just moving back up as well.
Yeah, these three together.
But yeah, Colodani from Santa Cruz. That's
Yeah.
just ahead of his teammate, the Italian champion, Brido.
Having a good round. Santa Cruz, RockShox pro team.
Julian Shelp in third place. Then we have that Jason group with Nino, who's leading.
And it's good now for Schwarzbauer just to get Nino's wheel. Forster as well, that's a good group. Schlepp just doing that more technical run line up the middle. Yeah. Opportunity to where Schwarzbauer is at the moment, that is rideable, but it's a questionable ride.
Yeah, questionable rideable. We saw riders also struggling over there, but now it looks like it's better rideable. All these three, they made it.
Yeah, and you get these mixed sections, it's trying to just pick out which one you think you can do, which one you can gain time.
Yeah, and sometimes it's also what the rider in front of you is doing, which line he's taking. Do I have to follow him or taking my own line, which is different?
Nino Schurter, 6th place currently.
And then look at Schwarzbauer in 4th place.
Yeah, Nino again, another bobble.
Yeah.
Stays on the bike, Schurter though.
The only guy we've seen ride that, and he's doing it again.
So good, so powerful.
He doesn't like to run these sections.
Oh, elbows his way past Schwarzbauer, no short order.
Yeah, changing positions constantly, these riders do.
This whole section here is really slippery, lots of big roots, the chance of losing that back wheel. The riders having to stay seated, trying to keep that weight on the back wheel, keep the traction.
Yeah, it's important to manage your body weight perfectly on these sections. You have to find your grip and you have to move over these slippery roots.
The 5th round of the UCI Cross Country World Cup in Crom, Montana is bubbling up nicely. Tom Pidcock leads the way by 40 seconds ahead of Matthias Flukiger. Julian Shelb's in 3rd, Nino Schurter's in 4th. It's the head of Lucas Schwarzbauer. Schurter in the last lap in the wars, off the bike a couple of times.
Yeah, not having his best lap, the previous lap, but he has to find his rhythm back. And that's what he's doing now. 3rd place.
And the sun's just coming out and you can just sit on course, but Nino's having lots of problems with his pedals. You see them just banging his foot, trying to clear the mud. And I think that was also the issue on that rock garden. As he came in, the first big compression he hit, a foot came out and bopped out the pedal, and he's got enough to whether it's a stone or something is in that shoe. Yeah,
I can confirm it was the rock garden. Maximilian Brandl went down in, so Brandl was riding high, but down and out of this one with the medics. There's Jordan Sarrou for BMC, soon to be French Olympian yet again.
Yeah, but also from Jordan Sarrou, we have seen better races.
Yeah.
I've got a theory that Sarrou is going to be one of the riders to beat come Paris 2024. I think he's boxing very cleverly at the minute, and I think the focus is on those Olympic medals and maybe just getting the racecraft in, getting the legs turned on. He's one of the cleverest racers out there. As Tom Pidcock goes down, seemingly out of nowhere, loses the front end, puffs the cheeks.
How quickly it happened, constantly. Riders, they have to be concentrated everywhere.
Strange crash.
Yes, but it's a very off-camera section over here. Just a little bit too fast. Even if you're leading the race, what happened?
Just taken out by a sniper route or something. Just the front wheel went from underneath him. Quickest look at it.
Lucas Schwarzbauer on fourth place.
And partly as well, you've just gone down the really difficult timber section, then into the off-camber, and you've just taken a bit of a recovery.
Relax. And then,
relaxing it back.
We saw it with Charlie Aldridge in Arashad, didn't we? Just soft hands on the bars, not a technical section, and it's not much for the front end. It just gets spun around on you.
So often you see riders crashing, it's on that easy bit of forest track or bit of gravel.
Sure. Oh! And Lars Forster down heavily in the timber garden.
Nino
arrives on the scene, manages to get the bike slowed down, get past him. Great bike riding that from Nino Schurter.
Yeah, that timberwood garden. If you touch your brakes a little bit too much, you slide and you crash immediately.
Oh, I've done that. Lars Forster doing it. Let's see it again.
Oh, the rear going first, then the front.
Lars Forster just doing that little wave of the hand to make sure all the fingers are in the right place.
Yeah, and it really hurts to crash on that wood. They're all different sizes of rocks.
Yeah, well,
it's a shame for Lars Forster.
Is that a thumb up to the camera?
I think he's just making sure the thumb's in the right place.
That hurts, I think.
Back markers getting caught already by Tom Pidcock on lap 4 out of 7.
Yeah, but we saw also in the women's race.
Absolutely.
Now again.
Absolutely no shame in that whatsoever, the speed he's going. Forster, though.
Yeah, Forster looking to his bike.
Looks like his day.
But also, his hand, it hurts.
I wonder if that thumb was out and it's gone back in, maybe.
It's going to be tough to regroup after that one.
Meanwhile, Mathias Flukiger's got the tongue out. He's trying hard, digging deep.
Second place.
43 seconds now after that crash from Pidcock, so...
Yeah,
and that's just the kind of day it is. There's mistakes in this for everyone. You've got to keep believing.
That's true.
On a course like this and in these conditions, everyone's going to have a crash at some point today, and it's making sure it's not a one on a rock section, it's on a soft section, and it's just making sure you can get up, preserve your bike.
Get journey on, don't stop believing. Pidcock takes the A-line, the big drop in.
Yeah, even after a couple of laps, you think other riders have found their rhythm, but still, I mean, I think every lap, every moment it changes again, and they have to be concentrated constantly everywhere.
You see, like Pidcock, that section, you've just cleaned the hardest A-line bit, the biggest jump in the course, but then you get a bit squirrely just on some rocks on the way out, and that's when you get a flat tyre. There's so many opportunities on this circuit, not just the big man-made sections, but that can catch you out.
There's Shell, third place for Julian Shell currently.
Schwarzbauer on fourth.
And Luca Bridle as well, guy we know in form. He's coming through strong.
What a shake-up in the overall points this one's going to be. And if you are just joining us, just a reminder, Victor Koretsky, the overall point leader, not racing today due to a rib injury. Decided to try and focus on getting healthy for Paris 2024.
And overall as well, Alan Hathaway at the moment sitting back at 18th place. His teammate Aldridge after that fast start back to 20th now, both Cannondale Factory Racing. Guarini 15th. Another rider's had good form lately. Just had a small crash early on.
Looks like also Lucas Schwarzbauer found his rhythm. He's going fast. New opponents to follow him. He's taking it a bit more carefully. Coming to that rock garden where he had a crash before in the previous lap. Let's see which line he will take.
And Schwarzbauer so far, he's been consistent, but a little bit slower than he has been last season. It'd be great to see him back on that podium again.
he's such an open book as well, tells it how it is, and he said that he's been very open, that he's very critical of himself, and he's not where he wants to be form-wise. But again, like Saru, I just wonder if he's a rider who may just...
But it's not peak, it's just that couple of percent off, and those couple of percent you can find.
Here we go. Watch this for a bit of energy transfer. Tom Pidcock through.
Taking the A-line on that raw garden.
Massive
the highest
rock
drop.
And that is a big drop.
Yeah, and it's blind. It's blind as anything.
And you see how slippery it is.
Pidcock, the skills.
A lot of spectators here next to this rock garden. Great to see that.
It's amazing. It just shows how skilled Tom Pidcock is. He spends less time on his mountain bike than most of the other riders in this field, but can come back within a few days of recce. He's back on it. As good as he's ever been.
Didn't practice this morning. Didn't practice this morning because he didn't like the schedule. And so his first lap today was lap 1 of the race.
Impressive level of skill.
Yeah, well, let's see the damage that he's done. Pidcock crosses the line. 3 laps to go for him. And what is the distance to Matthias Flukiger going to be at the end of this one?
I say sun just coming out now. He's going to dry the course.
Yeah, lap time's around 12 minutes at the moment.
Ineos Grenadiers rider well in control of this one.
Fastest lap time goes to Tom Pidcock so far. 11:38.
Here comes Matthias Flukiger, then crosses the line. Stops the split at 40 seconds, so it's stable.
Here we see Matthias just on that, when he got the big descent down the rock garden followed by the waterfall, generally just pulls a few seconds back. Tom Pidcock not taking any risks. But then as soon as he hit that big climb up again, last few laps we've seen Pidcock just take 10, 15 seconds out to Matthias.
Julian Shelb taking his gel.
Shelb on the gels as he heads up the start-finish straight.
With 3 laps to go.
Great race from Julian Shelb.
Yeah, and he's just going about his job, getting it done. But this, to put it into context, is a huge, this will be a PB by a huge margin.
You saw as well he was dropping back his paper, his wrap from the gel into his pocket. There's a drop zone these days where riders are allowed to drop their bottle or their gel, but nothing else, or no one else on the course, like these zones only.
And Schlelp on that stop-and-go team. Not a big factory team like most of the riders he's scrapping with today.
Lucas Schwarzbauer in an aerodynamic position.
Schwarzbauer over the bars, giving it full gas.
Nico Bridle, Santa Cruz Rock shot, the Italian champ. 4th last week on home soil in Val di Sole. Up to 6th now.
Bridle, I said at the top of the broadcast, another rider who's riding back into a nice little bit of form at exactly the right time.
Great performance from him last week in Val di Sole in Italy. Hey, Julian Shelb has to do it on his own. A little bit of a gap in front of Nino Schurter. Looks like Nino found his rhythm back.
Christopher Blevins currently down in 36th for Specialized Factory Racing.
Yeah, not his best races last week, this week.
His teammate Martin Vidari in 30th, so bit of a tough weekend for Specialized Factory
Racing. We have to speak with Benno.
I don't know. Could be a quiet van ride home after this one.
Yeah, Specialized, obviously the factory team's so dominant in those first couple of races in Brazil, came out absolutely firing.
Yeah.
But this last couple of weeks in Europe, just been finding things a little bit of bad luck.
Haley Batten losing the overall points leader's jersey. Victor Koretsky's could be in danger today. Not an ideal round for Specialized Factory Racing by any stretch of the imagination, but that Achilles tendon of Haley Batten's will be the focus of most of their attentions, along with that rib of Victor Koretsky's, I think.
Shelp again, he took that running part instead of riding.
It's getting warm out there now, whisper it.
Yeah, when the sun is out, it's immediately much warmer.
Yeah,
and it dries quickly as well, but still, this course, it's very slippery.
There's a weird blue pattern forming in the sky as well. The first time we've seen that all week.
We haven't seen that here at all. No.
Nino pushing on.
Finally.
So strong on these little steep, rooty patches. He's the only guy that can ride some of these sections.
He's coming back to Julian Chelp. Yeah, definitely the overall World Cup title plays in his mind.
Jordan Sarrou, the French champ. GMC.
Shelb off the bike and running. Takes a second to get clipped back in. Tell you what, it's quite an old school jersey that of Shelb's, isn't it?
Yeah, full retro.
Full 90s spec. I mean,
yeah, it is.
It's great to see.
Stop and go. It's more like yeah, he's definitely the main rider of that team. It's also built around him some years ago.
It's great to see some of these smaller teams mixing it up with the big factory guys. You know, Julian Shelby's had some amazing results, especially, like say Bart said, as an under-23 rider, but you know, sitting 45th on the world rankings at the moment, 25th in the World Cup rankings, so punching well above his weight at the moment.
Yeah, when the confidence is there, when you can go to the Olympics, you are qualified or almost qualified, it lifts yourself to a higher level. Nina Schurter, he's back on the wheel of Julian Chelp. And that's the third place in the race, numbers 3 and 4.
Just see that gap looking as well, going 40 seconds, now back to 50 again on that first big climb. The speed that Pidcock's climbing today is...
Tom Pidcock merciless at the front of this one, 50 seconds ahead of Mateusz Flukiger. Then there's a chunky gap back, nearly a minute.
Yeah, but it looks like you also look at Breido. He's coming back to Julian Chelp and Nino.
The battle for third place is raging out there as the sun starts to shine for what feels like the first time this week in Crom, Montana.
And also Jordan Sarrou, I mean, to Julian Chelp, it's not that big. 20 seconds, more like that. 18 it is.
But really impressed with Schurter at the moment. You know, a rider who's won so many races, but he had a shocker of a lap, 2 big crashes, but he hasn't missed a beat. Straight on the bike, straight back on the pressure again. Yeah, true champ.
Yeah, it looks like there's coming more speed into this race.
Yeah, definitely drying out now.
So wondering how the lap times will be. If they cross the line, then we will see him no more.
Pidcock gaining another 4 seconds. I'm talking
also Nino now taking a different line on that route. That big route that's over there. Well, Luca Breido now coming back to the third place.
Listen to the chance of Nino. Nino from the side of the track. It's not been the display he put on for the fans in Lenzerheide last year in Switzerland, but it's definitely been a display. One of the very toughest to ever do it. Nino Schurter refusing to give up on third place here, and he's got Julian Shelb in his crosshairs.
And also an amazing performance of Julian Shelb here today.
Take nothing away from him.
They really manage their speed when they come into this Timberwood section.
And it's just in the shade as well, so it won't be getting much sunlight, it won't be drying out.
Yeah, but the riders, they carry on constantly new mud on that wood, and that makes it so slippery. And also the tires are covered in mud, so yeah, that's not the best combination.
This is a section where we saw
really nicely done from Shelb there, jumping up onto that higher line.
I say Shelb in these muddy conditions, same as the European Championships where he placed third.
There's your leader, Tom Pidcock.
The world champion. Yeah, it's looking good how he's paddling. There's power in his legs.
Definitely, Pidcock endurance is not going to be an issue.
I'm wondering what he's going to do in the Tour de France.
They're probably just going to put him out on his mountain bike, I think. Let him battle it out.
Would he take his mountain bike with him to ride it once in a while?
If this is what
the rest day, maybe.
If this is what he does to relax. Just absolutely phenomenal what Tom Pidcock is able to do on just about any race bike.
Second place for Matthias Flückiger from Switzerland.
What do you make of this one? What do you make of this one, Bart? So much noise around Matthias Flückiger's place on the Swiss Olympic team. What a way to answer the critics today.
Yeah, that's the way how you have to answer it, and that's the right way he does it. But I think, yeah, from my side, he had the credits as well. That he was qualified, selected for Switzerland for the Olympic Games. I mean, he did quite okay last year, and also this year. At the beginning of the year, it wasn't his best World Cups, and of course, a few other Swiss riders, they were so well performing, like Marcel Guerini and Filippo Colombo, especially. I think these two. Yeah, and then it makes it quite hard for these people who have to make the decisions. But yeah, Matthias, he has shown that he's always there when it comes down to championships, as the Olympic Games are as well.
Yep, classy ride from Matthias Flückiger. Let the bike racing do the talking. But this battle, Schurter now up in the third place ahead of Scheld. You can hear the crowd's reaction to it.
But a minute 50 back, that's a big gap.
Big gap. We had a great battle last week for third place in Val d'Isère. We're going to get another one today. This mid-pack battle.
Yeah. The third, fourth, and fifth place in the race.
It's just, I mean, I say this at every round, but it's just such a brilliant generation of racers. The talent pool's so deep; they can all run with the bulls now.
And I reckon they're going to be joined by Jordan Sarrou, pretty sharpish.
Yeah, he's not that far off.
Yeah. With Lucas Schwarzbach, the Canyon Collective.
It's great to see Braido back in form. Winner of a couple of World Cups in the past few seasons ago, and then just went off the boil a little bit.
Yeah,
but coming back through bang on form now. Didn't
kick on, did he? But really strong today.
Scheld on the A-line, on the B,
into the rock garden.
Oh, high on the rocks.
Scheld back into third place now.
You can see the rear wheel of Luca Braido was sliding down.
Braido just stuck in the wrong gear there momentarily as well.
It's the advantage of that A-line is it pushes you right up onto the top of the rocks, and you miss that big horrible rut at the bottom that Braido got stuck in then.
This corner was also very slippery.
Yeah. Really,
most of the riders, they go really wide.
They're having to straight line it, aren't they, so they can get the bike turned. What a display for Julian Scheld this weekend, though.
Yeah, you're never sure. Some riders can do an amazing short track over 20 minutes, but then... Like I say, they can do a good short track, but then struggle to translate that into the hour plus of the XCO.
It's like that, yeah, but no, not today for Julian Scheld.
No, he's doing an amazing job backing it up.
Third place.
Meanwhile, out front, Tom Pidcock, 43 seconds in the lead ahead of Matthias Flückiger as he comes round. 2 to go after this one.
Flückiger again, just bringing it back on the long descent. Brings back 10. Pidcock takes out 15, and it just keeps rocking and rolling between the two of them.
I think especially this part of the course, the asphalt, the climb, that's what Tom Pidcock suits, and where Matthias Flückiger is losing a bit of time constantly.
Tom Pidcock, though.
2 more laps to go. Out of the saddle, it's looking strong how he's pedaling.
Looking like he is just rolling around here. And all the time, he's just inserting that bit more pressure, bit more pressure.
I say the last mountain bike race, Nova Mesto World Cup, Pidcock, he was so strong, and on the climbs, that's where he could attack Nino. Mateus just rolling through. 46 seconds now, 2 laps to go.
Here they go down through the Red Bull Roots and Rolls section. Scheld neatly does it. Schurter follows him. Braido, nothing to choose between the 3 of them down there.
And these sections now, the ones in the sun, just drying out really nicely, getting a lot faster. Proper racing line appearing.
Yeah, much more grip.
Scheld just zipping the jersey up. Sarrou in to the pits. There's a rear wheel change.
Yep, must be rear flat.
Takes the opportunity to take a gel, take a drink on. BMC team, some of the best in the business.
It was in a good way to make it almost to the top 5. I mean, from the 3rd to the 5th place, that group.
But a nightmare, Suri just made contact with that group as well.
Nicely done, though, got away.
But it was a quick change, 25 till 30 seconds, but he lost.
Schurter now, driving the pace in front of Shelb.
Forster 9th, Swiss. Philippe Colombo 10.
Pidcock, Flukiger, Schurter, Shell, Brido, Schwarzbar, Colidani. Great ride from him in 7th. Behind him it's Saru, then Forster, then Filippo Colombo back up in the 10th.
Yeah, he was back to almost 20th at one point, whether he had a flat tire we missed or mechanical, but yeah, strong rider. We now got 4 Swiss in the front 10.
Yeah, that second lap time from Filippo Colombo, he lost about 30 seconds compared to his other lap times he had.
Over the last 34 years, then only 16 men have won a UCI Cross-Country World Cup on home soil. Schurter, he's done it on 3 occasions before today. But not looking like it's going to be number 4. Flukiger 49 seconds back from Pidcock. Here is Schurter heading into 3rd place.
Yeah, overtaking Julian Shelb.
Yep, Shelb didn't put up too much of a fight. But Shelb and Schurter still doing battle now. Schurter in the black and white jersey of Scott Schramm, MTB Racing.
Shelb, different line, running, equal in time.
And there's Luca Brido with them in the Italian national champions colours.
Yeah, it looks like when the sun comes out, it's drying quickly. More drier parts right now, more grip for these riders.
This track has been a mental as much as a physical battle all week long for these riders, and its final sting in the tail is that it's now going to start to dry out for the last 2 laps of this elite men's race.
Well, thankfully, sometimes when it's been really muddy, when it dries out, it gets really sticky and sticks to the bikes. Big chance of mechanical issues at the moment, though. It's not causing that sort of sticky mud.
No, it's not getting up.
No. It can get nice and fast as well, sort of packs in a bit. You can trust the ruts a bit more.
We've seen him now riding all these little climb and difficult sections. The ones on lap 1 an hour ago, they were just struggling to get traction, but now a bit more grip available.
Colidani and Schwarzbauer actually not that far off, these two, of that
Schurter.
group of 3.
Schurter just halting Shelb's progress behind him. Brido right back into contention after that. Schurter clever, just parking the bike across. Whoa, Shelb getting a bit of a weave on down that descent. Back in, just threatening to step out on him. Really difficult little section that we have a climb, then it drops down, another little climb before a really big dip, and there's a lot of chance there to lose some hemorrhage, like quite a few seconds.
It's a very difficult section over there. But also here where Tom Pidcock is.
He's so strong on this climb, and he's put that gap out to Mateusz Flukiger back to 58 seconds again.
Coming into the Timberwood section.
Approaching a minute to the good for Tom Pidcock as he heads into the Timberwoods.
And the A-line, precisely timed.
Yeah, you just have to kind of get the wheels in a straight line there, don't you, and go for it.